didn't work, they got rid of it. If it did work, they kept it. But this for the love of I was living good. I'm sorry it wasn't me. Years of practice showed in her efficient preparation of a proper setting for a seance. Within minutes, the fire on the grate had sprung back to life. A heady scent of anise pervaded the room, and deep notes from one thing I left out was the music. She always had that special effect. Music is good for a lot of things now. I can't tell you what else I use it for, but I use it. Okay, I'm a bad girl. Okay. She reached across the table and took the old man's large hand in hers. Not surprised that his grasp was clammy but firm. Are you ready to tell me your name? Seth, he lifted his chin, meeting her gaze. Seth Clay. Clay. Stunned, she drew back her hand, releasing his hand as if she'd been stung. Why hadn't she seen the resemblance sooner? The same family as Samuel Clay, the minister? He nodded, his expression grim. I'm his oldest son. My father died a few weeks ago, or didn't you know? Of course you knew. Everybody knew. Half the town had attended his funeral. Dora had not been among them, though. She celebrated. She was happy that man was passing. God, have you ever had people, she was so happy that man died? Instead of going to the funeral, you know what she did? Oh, I won't say she. She sat in her kitchen, buttered her some bread, and just ate. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. She did. The more she ate, the happier she got. She probably had something in that glass, too. Okay, now the wretched man's son was sitting at her table, expecting her to conjure up the spirit of Samuel Clay, a narrow-minded tyrant who labeled her and her friends as wicked witches and evil sorcerers. Evil? Why, she was nothing of the sort. She helped people, made their lives better and their futures more certain. She glared across the table at the Reverend's 50-something son, the lines in his face, etched deeper by the flickering candles. In his eyes, she saw neither judgment nor reproach, only sorrow and great emptiness. It tore her medium's heart in two. Oh, I'm so sorry. The man desperately needed her assistance. Samuel Clay was dead and gone, wasn't he? True, with his particular skills, he could still speak from the grave. True, with her skills, he could still speak from the grave, but he could no longer hurt her. The curtain between their two worlds was thin but impenetrable. Let him speak then. She said, come on then. You can speak through me, and I'll speak for you through me. But you can't hurt me because you're dead. What is it you want from your father, Seth? Well, he gnawed on his lower lip, choosing his words with care. I'm an attorney, you see. She merely nodded, remembering some mention of his profession in the obituary. Well, go on. Tomorrow I face an opponent in the courtroom who knows my every strategy. Without more information, I'm certain to lose the case, if not my entire career. He edged closer to her. Is that important? I understand, which she certainly did, but what of your father? He always counseled me before my trials. He prayed with me. He helped me to see the big picture, how God's hand moved in such situations. Dora's lip pressed into a thin, hard line. God deciding court cases? Samuel Clay had a lot of nerve calling mediums dangerous and fanatical. She almost relished conjuring up this loathsome man's ghost, if only to taunt him with he was permanently in a spectral state. Grasping Seth's hand in her more resolutely this time, she closed her eyes and brought an image of Samuel Clay. It was easy enough to picture him rising to his feet at a city council meeting. his gnarled hand wrapped around a Bible held aloft as if it contained some great truth instead of a mere ancient superstition. She said, I repeat, the things contained in that Bible was mere ancient superstition. I'm sure you all didn't catch that, but I thought I'd bring that back. For every several moments, she did nothing but breathe. The room grew still as if death itself. When she spoke at last, her voice was calm. I see you, Reverend Clay. Seth's hand began to quiver. His voice was a hoarse whisper. What do you see? She saw, as she told you earlier. I remember seeing him at the council meeting, so I could tell you exactly what he probably had on. Not that she actually saw him. So impatient, she saw only what Seth had to be seen in his own mind. A vivid memory of his father. Well, I see your father in a gray suit with a white shirt, red striped tie, and a gold tie pin. Seth, that's what he was wearing when we buried him. Dora smiled. Yeah, I got you now. All right, let me find something else I can say. The spirit was generous this night. The Reverend's limited wardrobe and her lucid memory of the photo in the newspaper helped her too. As the vision of Samuel Clay grew in size and clarity, she marveled at how real the image seemed. Why, she would have vowed he was in that very room. As if lifted by an unseen hand, her eyelid fluttered open, then widened in utter shock. A blood-curdling scream filled the air. Ah! He was there in her kitchen. She didn't even believe what she could do. Does that mean she knew she could do it, or was this just one of those freak things that happened, or one of those things that she unexpectedly happened? What do you think? Do you think she had that much confidence in her ability, or was just this something that just abnormally happened? It just happened. She wasn't expecting it. She was waiting for the okie-doke. I'm going to okie-doke you some more. Samuel Clay hovered larger than life behind his son. One ghostly hand was still holding that Bible, and the other one was resting on Seth's shoulder. Seth, she swallowed, struggling to speak. Your father, he's here with us now. His eyes was wide with fear. Seth swung around in his chair. Where is he? Where is he? He swiveled back. I don't see a thing, Mama. Tell me what you see. What Dora saw left her speechless. She, who many times had mentally reached across the chasm that separated life and death, had never approached such a level of success. It was thrilling and terrifying. This was much clearer. It wasn't she bringing this ghost to life. It wasn't Seth's doing in either. No, it must be, who do you think brought him back? I believe it was God. God intervened. Somehow or another, God allowed this to happen. Dora suddenly felt her mouth being forced open against her will. This time she didn't have to worry about trying to talk. Something forced her mouth